everyone, I'm Sydney Somek, and I'm the product marketing lead across the marketing suite here at Seven Rooms. I'm thrilled to be here today to talk about how we can transform restaurant marketing from guesswork into a science, one that's precise, personalized, and performance-driven. Let's dive in. The truth is, the restaurant industry is lagging behind in marketing innovation. Unlike retail or e-commerce, you're not just selling a product, you're selling an experience. And yet, too many restaurants are still relying on outdated, one-size-fits-all approach that fall flat. So the question is, how do we bring the same level of personalization and care to your marketing that you bring to your guests? Let's take a look at what's holding most restaurants back and how we can change that. Here's the challenge. Guests expect more, but restaurants aren't keeping up. Let's break it down. Imagine this. A guest has visited your restaurant 3 times. They always order a particular dish, but when they get an email from you, it's the same generic 10% off this weekend promotion. No acknowledgement of their past visits, no recommendation for that dish they love, nothing that makes them feel like a valued guest. It's like walking into their favorite restaurant and being treated like a stranger every time. Why are guests expecting more, and how are restaurants falling short? 55% want personalized perks for birthdays and anniversaries, but few restaurants offer them. People love a little extra attention on their big day, a free dessert, a toast, something special. But more than half say they're not getting it. That's low-hanging fruit for building loyalty. 66% expect businesses to know what they want, but only 34% deliver. Guests expect you to know what they like. Most businesses miss the mark, leaving a big opportunity to stand out. And less than half personalize recommendations, like suggesting a wine they've loved or inviting them to an event that fits their vibe. Small details, big impact. And that makes sense, because this is what restaurant marketing looks like right now. Emails that don't entice, getting spammed with the same messages in 2 minutes, or text screaming. It's a lot of noise and not a lot of business for these restaurants. So why are restaurants still behind? Let's look at another industry that's figured this out, retail. Let's take a look at how retail marketing has evolved over the past 25 years and how each shift has made it easier for brands to connect with consumers in a more relevant and meaningful way. It all began in the early 2000s with the rise of e-commerce. For the first time, consumers could browse and purchase products online from the comfort of their homes. This shift was all about convenience, removing friction from the buying process and making products more accessible. Retailers that embraced online shopping quickly gained a competitive advantage, shaping the way consumers interacted with their brands. In 2007, with the launch of the iPhone, it didn't just change how we communicate, it transformed how businesses connect with customers. Suddenly, brands could reach people wherever they were, right inside their pockets. By the 2010s, consumers began expecting more than just convenience. They wanted relevance. This was the era of personalization. Using customer data, retailers began delivering tailored recommendations and targeted promotions based on browsing behavior, purchase history, and preferences. Segmentation became more sophisticated, ensuring that marketing messages felt more relevant and engaging to each individual. Today, we've entered the era of predictive marketing. Using AI and advanced analytics, retailers can now anticipate what consumers want before they even know it themselves. By analyzing patterns and behaviors, brands can proactively deliver product suggestions, promotions, and reminders at precisely the right moment, turning every interaction into an opportunity for a purchase. Unfortunately, hospitality is stuck in the 2012 personalization era. Most restaurants rely on basic segmentation and booking-driven campaigns. Personalization is minimal, often just a name or a past visit mentioned. Predictive marketing is virtually non-existent, and guest engagement feels transactional, not relational. You might be thinking, can't restaurants just apply retail strategies and use the technology that already exists? Not exactly. The reality is that most marketing platforms weren't designed for restaurants. They were built for e-commerce. Their integrations are built around platforms like Shopify, not restaurant reservation systems or POS platforms. They don't capture the data points that matter most to restaurants, like visit frequency, menu preferences, or special occasions, making it impossible to deliver truly personalized experiences. As a result, restaurants can't take full advantage of the advanced segmentation and automation that drives guest loyalty and repeat visits, and they can't tie their marketing campaigns back to revenue. Now here's the real cost of not evolving. Restaurants are feeling the pain. Let's start with a simple truth. Most restaurants don't have a marketing problem. They have a coordination problem. They send a beautiful email, or they send a last-minute text message, or they post on social media. But those are rarely working together. And when channels operate in isolation, engagement drops, promotions get missed, and revenue opportunities slip away. Today, we're going to talk about how to change that. For years, restaurants have relied on instinct and tradition to engage guests. But today, intuition alone isn't enough. The most successful brands use data to create personal, effortless, and memorable experiences because the art of hospitality, making guests feel valued, deserves the science of marketing to keep them coming back. Multi-channel marketing isn't about sending more, it's about sending smarter. It's about sending the right message in the right format at the right moment. Email builds anticipation and tells the story. Messaging drives immediacy and action. When these two channels work together, you create a rhythm: awareness, interest, action, reminder, last chance. Instead of hoping one send performs, you're building a system that performs. When it comes to conversations, using multiple channels isn't just a nice to have, it drives real results. In fact, restaurants that combine email and text see on average 7 times higher engagement than compared to using one alone. Why? Because guests are busy and reaching them through their preferred channels increases the chance they'll see and act on your message. Email is great for detailed offers and newsletters, while text delivers quick, timely nudges that drive action. Together, they create a consistent presence that keeps your restaurant top of mind without overwhelming your guests. The role of email. When restaurants get this right, they really see the impact. 28% increase in click to open rates, 2 times revenue per email. Email is your canvas. It's where you introduce a seasonal menu, tell the story behind an event, showcase imagery, and segment your audience thoughtfully. For example, ahead of Mother's Day, an email can highlight a prefix menu, feature past photos, and offer early booking incentives. Let's walk through some of the best practices around crafting a truly memorable email marketing campaign. When it comes to email, balance is key. Too many emails and guests tune you out, too few emails and they forget you. Aim for 1 to 2 targeted emails a month, like offers for locals or recent diners, and 1 to 2 broader emails for everyone. This way, you stay top of mind without overwhelming inboxes. It's all about showing up with the right message at the right time. Subject lines are your first impression. Make them count. Guests decide whether to open your email in seconds. Keep subject lines short, clear, and enticing. Under 50 characters works best. Use phrases like "you're invited," "wine and dine Wednesdays," or add an emoji to catch their eye. The goal here? Spark curiosity and drive that all-important click. Make every email count with timely, engaging content. Grab attention with vibrant photos and clear, actionable text. Use direct call to actions like "make a reservation" or "see our menu." Keep it simple. 1 main call to action per email with a maximum of 3 total. No need to overwhelm, just have guests take action. The goal? To make the next step of booking feel effortless. Make emails mobile friendly, because that's where guests read them. Most guests open emails on their phones, so design with mobile in mind. Keep visuals bold, text short, and links easy to tap. Simple layouts equal quicker engagement and more clicks. Think thumb-friendly design, no pinching or zooming required. Now that we've covered email marketing, let's look at the role of text marketing. Where email tells the story, messaging closes the loop. Let me ask you this. How many unread emails do you have right now? Probably more than a few. Now, how many unread text messages? For most of us, that number is a lot closer to 0. Why? Because text cuts through the noise. They're short, direct, and get seen almost instantly, making SMS a powerful tool for capturing attention and driving action. Here's where we see a disconnect. Most restaurants are focusing their marketing efforts on social media and email, but when we surveyed thousands of consumers, they told us something different. Their top 2 preferred channels for hearing from brands are email and text messages. This gap means that restaurants may be missing opportunities to connect with their guests in the ways that they prefer. Fill more tables with text marketing. Short, clear, action-oriented. It's not repetition, it's reinforcement. Messaging channels are powerful because they're immediate. SMS cuts through the inbox noise, delivers concise call to action, and drives faster conversation. Using that same Mother's Day example, Email announced the event 2 weeks out. A text reminds VIP guests that tables are filling, and a final text sends a last tables alert 48 hours before. That's not repetition, that's reinforcement. And when messaging is triggered by guest behavior, like open email but didn't book, it becomes even more powerful. But I know what you're thinking. My guests would never want to receive a text from me. And the truth is, most restaurants don't do this very well. But there's a way to do this tastefully in a way that drives real business results. So let's walk through it. When it comes to text marketing, the key is to embrace the medium and not just copy and paste what you're already sending via email. Use text for quick, attention-grabbing updates like last-minute availability or limited time offers. Make your test subscribers feel special by offering deals and perks they can't get anywhere else. And remember, if guests get the same message via email and text, they're more likely to unsubscribe from one. So keep your content distinct for each channel. The next tip is to be authentic. Remember, you're showing up where guests text their family and friends, so your messages should feel just as natural. Keep the tone conversational, friendly, and to the point. Avoid sounding too formal or promotional. Text should feel like a quick note, not an ad. The more your messages sound like a real person, the more likely guests are likely to read and respond. Next, get creative. Text messages are short, but that doesn't mean they have to be boring. Use emojis and images to grab attention and showcase your brand's personality. A mouth-watering food photo or fun emoji can say just as much as words. And the final tip, always say your name. Unlike email, guests won't see your name in the from line. Start every text with your venue's name so guests know who's messaging them. It's simple but crucial. Otherwise, they might think it's spam. Now that you've got the tools to make your text feel more personal and engaging, let's talk about how to use these tools together. Email and text are a dynamic duo. Each plays a unique role in guest engagement. Email is your storytelling platform, perfect for sharing updates, building loyalty, and staying top of mind. Text delivers immediacy, ideal for quick action with timely promotions and reminders. Email is your restaurant's voice. It's where you get to show up fully, with imagery, with story, with personality. A beautiful designed email announcing your summer menu or a ticketed dinner event does something no other channel can. It makes a guest feel like they're already there before they've booked. And because email reaches your entire guest list at once, it's also your widest net. You're not just talking to your regulars, you're re-engaging the guest who visited 6 months ago, reminding the lapsed diner of what they've been missing, and giving your most loyal fans something to look forward to. Think of it like a restaurant's version of a magazine. It sets the mood, builds the narrative, and creates genuine desire. Done well, a single email can fill a room. But, and this is important, email plants the seed. It rarely closes the deal on its own. That's not a weakness, it's just how the channel works. And once you understand that, you stop expecting email to do everything and you start pairing it with the channel that does close, text messaging. Think about the last time you got a text from a number you didn't recognize. You probably read it anyway, because that's what we do with texts. We read them. Almost all of them, almost immediately. And that's the superpower here. While email is building the story and creating desire, text is the channel that makes someone stop what they're doing and act. It's not where you introduce yourself, it's where you close. A 2-sentence message like, "Hey Sarah, jazz night at 5 fixes tomorrow, only 4 tables left, reserve yours here." That's not marketing. That feels like a personal tip from someone who already knows you. And because 7Rooms already knows who your high-value guests are, who came last month, who opened your email but didn't book, your text can genuinely be targeted. Not a blast, a tap on the shoulder. So here's what it looks like when you put them together. Email reaches everyone, tells the full story, and builds the desire to come in. Text reaches the right person at the right moment with the reason to act right now. Neither one is complete without the other, and that's exactly the point. The overlap in the middle, that's what 7Rooms makes possible, because the data powering both channels is the same. The same guest profile that tells your team a guest prefers a corner table and orders a tasting menu is the same profile that decides who gets the VIP early access text and who gets the re-engagement email and who gets both. Most restaurants are using a standalone tool, a MailChimp here, a random SMS platform there, can never get this. The channels don't talk to each other because the data doesn't connect. With 7Rooms, it's one system, one guest view, 2 powerful channels working in sync. And that's the difference between sending messages and running a marketing program. Let's make this real. It's Tuesday. Jazz night is Friday. You need to fill the room. The first move is email, and the right decision is who gets it. Not everyone on your list, just your weekend regulars. Guests who consistently book on Fridays and Saturdays, who've shown up for events before, who have the spending pattern that says they'll order the cocktail pairing and stay for the late set. This email goes to them, not because you manually built that list, but because 7Rooms helped build it for you, automatically from actual dining behavior. And look at what the email does. It doesn't just announce Jazz Night, it sells the evening, the image, the atmosphere, the menu. It creates a picture in the guest's mind before they've clicked a single thing. That's email doing its job. Building desire, setting the scene, making Friday night feel unmissable. But we sent this Tuesday, and now it's Thursday, and some of those weekend regulars opened it, but still haven't booked. That's where the next step comes in. Thursday evening, a guest opened your Jazz Night email on Tuesday. They read it. They thought, I should book that, and then life happened. This is where most restaurants lose the reservation. They sent one message, it didn't convert, and that's the end of it. But 7Rooms knows that the guests opened the email and didn't book, so now they get this text. Not your whole list, not a blast, just the guests who showed interest and went cold. And look what the text does differently. It's not resending the email, it's giving a completely different tone. It's casual, it's direct, like a friend giving you a tip. Johnny's on the horn, Saturday, Prohibition cocktails, music till late, reserve now. That's it. One link, one action. This is where email and text stop being two separate tools and become one coordinated system. The email created the desire, the text captured the moment, and the guest who was going to let Friday slip just made a reservation. That's the difference between a campaign and a conversion. Now zoom out and look at what just happened. A guest went from a weekend regular to a Jazz Night attendee, and the moment they walked through the door, 7Rooms updated their profile. They're now an event regular, and every future communication they receive will reflect that. Look at the third message. This isn't a generic newsletter. This is a champagne gala invitation sent specifically to the guests who came to Jazz Night, because 7Rooms knows that they're the kind of people who show up for a curated evening. Maya gets an email that says, as one of our favorite event regulars, we couldn't let you miss this. She didn't sign up for a loyalty program, she just came to dinner, and now she feels like an insider. This is what a marketing program looks like when it's built on real guest behavior instead of a static email list. Every visit teaches the system something new. Every action a guest takes, opens, clicks, bookings, attendance, makes the next message smarter and more personal. You're not just filling Friday night, you're building a guest relationship that compounds over time. That's the difference between one-off campaigns and a true marketing engine. What you just saw, the Jazz Night email, the targeted follow-up text, Maya getting her champagne gala invite, that's not a hypothetical. That's what restaurants already running email and text inside 7Rooms are doing every month. And the numbers reflect it. 7 times higher engagement when you combine both channels. The data is already in your 7Rooms account. The guest profiles are already built. Email and text marketing are how you activate them. The art of hospitality has always been about making people feel seen, known, and welcomed. The science of marketing is what lets you do that at scale, not just for the guest in front of you tonight, but for every guest in your database at the right moment through the right channel. That's what this is all about. Because in hospitality, it's not just about serving guests, it's about knowing them.
Thank you so much for your attention today. If you want to learn a little bit more about email and text marketing, you can request a demo at 7rooms.com. Thank you so much and have a great rest of your day.